we don't realize to what an extent our beliefs distort the reality of the world as we perceive it. I'm an underperformer, I'm an overperformer. Negative beliefs, harmful beliefs, we distort our perception of the world. It's like in a carnival, there was a room with 1,000 mirrors. What are beliefs? These are convictions of our intellect about the world around us. Assumptions that we make. This world is extremely complex. It is like an equation with infinite variables. And that is very difficult for the brain to process. So our brain creates assumptions regarding ourselves, regarding others, regarding the world, regarding events and episodes. And these become the lens through which we start seeing the world. Beliefs can be extremely empowering. On the other hand, they can be debilitating like nothing else. Consider the case of Gilbert. She was born in the 1930s in England, and she rose to become a national level tennis player, an accomplished women's tennis player of the 1950s. However, an episode took place when she was a 4-year-old. She accompanied her mother to the dental clinic. The mother's tooth needed to be extracted, which in those days was a major surgery. In the process, before her eyes, her mother died in the dental chair. And Gilbert visualized it, thought about it, decided about it, and created the firm conviction that dental clinics are killers. No matter how much problems she had, she would refuse to see the dentist. As a 40-year-old, when the situation became really bad, being forced by people, she did visit the dentist. She sat down on the chair, but when the dentist opened her mouth and inserted the instruments, she passed away. Her mentor was there, a pastor was there, the doctor was there, and before their eyes she passed away. Next day, the London Times released an article, 40 years of cultivating that belief, convinced her intellect so strongly that when the occasion arose, the intellects switched off the organs to cause her death. That is what bad beliefs do to us. So now we are going to discuss the importance of beliefs, how they develop within ourselves, and how to create empowering beliefs. Well, first of all, your beliefs will determine your value system. If you believe that money is the pathway to achieving worldly goods, and there's a tremendous happiness in it, in your value system, money will be extremely high. Some of you believe that spirituality is important, and that's why you've taken time out for this. One researcher, Dr. David Phillips from UC San Diego, he and a set of researchers, they did this study on 2 million people. And they discovered that for ladies, the maximum mortality is the week after their birthday. And the minimum chance of mortality is the week before the birthday. So if you see the mortality rate for ladies, 1 week before the birthday, it dips down. and then it rises up. In the case of gents, they discovered the reverse. The maximum mortality happens in the week before their birthday. So it hikes a little, and then after the birthday, it dips a little. And that was very surprising. Is there some hocus pocus behind it? What kind of statistics are these? Taken over 2 million people. Then they related it that somehow ladies tend to develop this belief in general that relationships are important. They are more important than even accomplishments. And that is why they tend to look on birthdays as opportunities to re-establish connections and reinforce existing ones. So no matter how sick they may be, they just pull on by the force of their willpower till the birthday comes. And then naturally they say, okay, now I can go. On the other hand, men tend to develop this belief that accomplishments are more important. And that results in a value system where accomplishments are a priority. And the birthday then becomes an evaluation point on where I have reached. So in general, people tend to fear it. So when the birthday is approaching, they pass off. Not everybody, but there's a slight hike. And after the birthday, there's a dip. Now, the different values coming from different beliefs. They also discovered that in the case of celebrity ladies, this doesn't apply because they're getting enough of relational affection throughout the year. And in the case of celebrity gents, it doesn't apply. They are not scared of their birthdays. They've got enough accomplishments to remember. They also discovered that for Chinese, there's a slight dip in mortality just before the Chinese New Year. And again, after that, it increases. For Jews, again, there's a dip just before the Passover. So the point I'm highlighting is your beliefs will create your value system. The beliefs will also create the reality in which you live. So one researcher in New York, Dr. Margaret Shee and her associates, they did this experiment with Asian ladies. They invited 400 Asian ladies and they emphasized that in general it has been discovered when it comes to math, ladies seem to perform below the median of the population. Of course, they perform much better in other subjects. So emphasizing this, they gave them a math test and they found that the ladies had underperformed. And then they called the ladies back again after 6 months. And this time they emphasized their Asian ethnicity and said, when it comes to math, it seems that the Asians seem to be performing above average. Drilling this into their head, they gave them the math test again. And this time, they had performed actually above the median. So what happened was their belief, I'm an underperformer, I'm an overperformer, affected the reality in which they were seeing this world and living. So we don't realize, by developing and inculcating negative beliefs, harmful beliefs, we distort our perception of the world. It's like in a carnival, there was a room with 1,000 mirrors where you could go and see 1,000 images of yourself. A dog entered the room and saw 1,000 dogs. It gnarled, and all the 1,000 dogs gnarled at it. And it showed its teeth, and they all showed its teeth. And the dog got annoyed and started fighting, and they all started fighting with it. And when the dog owner came, he saw that this dog had been badly cut by broken glass. The dog had created a reality based on its false beliefs. But we humans are also vulnerable to it. One little girl, she was on vacation with her parents in a hill station. And in the morning, she went to the peak and saw the other peaks. It was so attractive. She said, "Wow." And from all the peaks, the sound came, "Wow, wow, wow." That startled her because she was unaware of the laws of physics. She said, "Who are you?" And all the hilltops responded, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" That annoyed her. She said, "I hate you." And all the hilltops responded, "I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you." That scared her. Oh my God. She went and told her father, "Papa, all the hilltops are hating me." The father said, "My child, go and tell them I love you." She went back and said, "I love you." And that's the response she got. So we don't realize to what an extent our beliefs distort the reality of the world as we perceive it. Beliefs also limit our potential in life. This is the rich dad, poor dad theory, which is popular nowadays. One child was born in a poor family to a poor dad and grew up inculcating the belief that this is how life is supposed to be. So in future, when he stood on his feet, he never tried to do anything to actually become prosperous because his belief was limiting his potential. On the other hand, one boy grew up to a rich dad and inculcated intuitively the belief that prosperity is something that is possible. And even when life came upon hard times, he decided, this is temporary. With hard work, I can go beyond to prosperity. In either case, they were limited or empowered by their beliefs. Now, it doesn't mean that anybody born to a rich dad will have this belief or the other way around. Take the case of Indira Nooyi, who was the CEO of PepsiCo. And at one time, she was number 3 in Forbes' list of powerful ladies. So, people have analyzed, she has revealed that when she was a little child, her mother would tell her and her sister, okay, supposing you are the Prime Minister of the country and you are going to speak, you prepare a speech and give it at dinner time. And she created in them those empowering beliefs which made both the daughters so successful in life.